الله لا إله إلا 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 الله.
Watch the wood frame house right there across the street. New surveillance video from a gas station camera showing just one of the tornadoes that tore up the Midwest last Sunday. This was Diamond, Illinois. They now believe a total of 1,500 homes were lost in one day's worth of violent weather across 12 states.
Winds of up to 200 miles an hour were felt in some parts as the storm tore across the Midwest, leaving destruction in its wake.
We may need to take shelter right now ourselves.
We do.
We need to go off the air.
Yeah.
We will be back when we can.
Right. We'll be right back.
Holy shit. Holy moly. All right. Holy shit. All right, I gotta go. I'm coming, honey. Shit, where you at? God damn, it's bad. Oh, shit, Josie. Oh my God. Our house is freaking destroyed, Josie! Oh my God! Oh, Jesus H! I'm in shock. I can't believe this happened. Oh my God, Josie! The neighbors' houses are gone.
Bosnia quickly, and local residents of a remote village were left shocked after the sudden disappearance of their local pond. The waters of the pond disappeared last week when a sinkhole formed, swallowing up trees and vegetation as well as sucking in fish.
Europe's tallest and most active volcano, Mount Etna, has erupted, sending a vast plume of smoke and lava into the sky. The eruption did not cause significant disruption, although airspace over the southern Italian island of Sicily was briefly closed.
In central Vietnam, at least 36 people have been killed by floods. Heavy rains triggered landslides that forced nearly 80,000 people to flee their homes.
Floods have hit central Vietnam since the middle of last week. State-run TV reports massive releases of water from hydropower dams at the time water levels surged, expanding damage in downstream areas.
Some areas have been cut off as bridges were brought down and roads were blocked. The waters have started to recede, and that's allowing some residents to return to their homes, but 9 people are still unaccounted for.
This was a deluge no one here had ever seen before. Overnight, months of rainfall in just an hour and a half.
It's only now, in the light of day, that the emergency services are really getting a full grasp of the scale of what's happened.
At least 16 people were killed and thousands more were forced from their homes by the floods.
Many have been rescued, but residents here say the toll of dead and injured could have been lower if there'd been better warnings. Although even the meteorologists have been surprised at the strength of the cyclone.
We've seen nothing like it in decades in this normally sun-kissed holidaymaker's paradise. It was, said one official, apocalyptic.
They've had a biblical amount of rainfall in Sardinia, something like over 400 millimetres in the space of less than a day. And the weather really in the Mediterranean has been very bad for the last week or so.
The survivors, the clean-up begins, and the rebuilding ahead as shocked communities deal with the reality of the storm they called Cyclone Cleopatra.
Something burning across the horizon this morning. It is the second time in 3 weeks we've seen it in our area. This time, people took pictures.
Scientists are still looking over all the reports, all the photographs. Luckily, with our clear skies, there are lots of photos. People saw it, they snapped pictures of it, they sent these in to our newsroom. Some described it like a line in the sky grew into a fireball.
Mark Rubin's first thought was take pictures. And the Bayport man was able to snap 2 of them, capturing something he saw falling from the sky near his home on Monday.
A landmass in the Pacific Ocean gets bigger and bigger with every volcanic blast. Japan Coast Guard officials say it may be here to stay. A volcanic islet has been spewing steam and ash into the air. Coast Guard officials first spotted the activity last week, about 1,000 kilometers south of Tokyo. They flew over again on Tuesday. They say a crater is erupting every 4 minutes. Officials say the landmass it's created is a third bigger than what they saw nearly a week ago. And they say everything they've seen suggests it could remain an island.
Footage from Japan's Coast Guard shows a 650-foot diameter island emerging under a plume of ash, nearby another small uninhabited island, which is also part of the chain.
Gushing winds and torrential rain as Cyclone Helen slammed the northeastern coast of Andhra Pradesh. Arriving just a month after Cyclone Pylin struck, the severe cyclonic storm made a landfall at Machilipatnam with winds of 80 to 90 kilometers per hour. At least 11,000 people were evacuated and brought into 54 relief shelters set up across the state. Though considerably weaker than Pylin, Cyclone Helen managed to knock down power in several coastal areas. Scores of trees and electricity poles were uprooted, roads blocked, making many villages in the district almost inaccessible.
Indonesian volcano Mount Sinabung continues to pour smoke into the air, with eruptions prompting the Indonesian government to increase the alert status to its highest level.
A column of ash reaching 1.5 kilometers into the air. The Mount Sinabung volcano has been showing signs of activity since September, after being dormant for 3 years. Disaster management officials say more than 15,000 villagers have already been moved to temporary shelters. They say further eruptions could be on the way as the intensity of volcanic activity increases. Before 2010, Mount Sinabung, one of around 130 active volcanoes in the country, hadn't erupted for 400 years.
A sad sight on Volusia County beaches today, where 2 more dolphins are found dead.
Scientists say the virus, which has killed hundreds of dolphins along the eastern seaboard, is not documented in Florida, and the numbers, though, are starting to dramatically add up.
Jim, this virus is called the morbillivirus. In people, it's similar to the measles virus. The last morbillivirus event occurred more than 25 years ago, ran for a year or so up and down the East Coast, and killed 750 dolphins. This event has already claimed more than 800 animals, and it's only been 6 months. Now, this particular virus has also been seen in Wales, not here in Florida, but to the north of us. So that is a big concern at this time of year in Florida if the virus is here, and they tell us it is. Right whales start heading south into Florida so that the mothers can give birth. It's a spectacle every year in about another week or 2.
Another major story we're following tonight, a massive wintry storm now blamed for at least 13 deaths in the southwest. Forecasters say the storm is expected to push east, creating messy travel on one of the busiest travel days of the year.
The powerful storm blanketing several states with heavy snow, steady rain, debilitating ice, and high wind.
Over the weekend, this same storm system lashed California with heavy rain. That led to flooding and at least 1 helicopter rescue. Strong gusts ripped down power lines. The wind fueling a wildfire north of San Francisco. And then there's the snow, 15 inches in parts of Nevada. Great news for the ski resorts, but dangerous driving across Oklahoma, Texas, and New Mexico.
The snow is being blamed for hundreds of accidents across the region as it moves northeast across the country.
From the deep south all the way up into Maine and beyond. Quick zoom in for some look at some road services. There's some watches and warnings out. 11 states have flood watches from Georgia to Maine. 12 states from Florida to Maine have wind weather watches, warnings, or advisories. And 11 states have winter weather watches, warnings, or advisories.
We're looking at the Cheyenne River here, down at the Cheyenne Owego property, just west of the bridge. There's a perfect circle of ice, probably close to 50 feet diameter, spinning in the river. It's an amazing wonder. I don't have a clue how it did it, but that thing is rotating, as you can see.
Well, it's a celestial smackdown in South Florida. An out-of-this-world encounter with space rocks. A 7-year-old boy was playing in his driveway Saturday when something fell on his head. The gash required 3 staples. His father searched the area and found rock fragments. He took them to Florida Atlantic University for testing, where researchers determined they had all the elements of being meteorites. The rare rocks will need more chemical testing to confirm that's what they are.
He later learned they were magnetized. His son is okay, though he needed 3 staples to close the gash.
At least 8 people have been killed and scores injured when an earthquake struck Iran on Thursday evening. Iranian President Hassan Rouhani has issued a statement offering his condolences and appealing for emergency workers to help in the relief efforts. Ambulances, medical equipment, relief forces and tent hospitals have all been deployed to the affected zones. Reports said many residents poured into the streets out of fear. The quake was felt in neighbouring provinces. The 5.6 magnitude quake struck on Thursday afternoon near the city of Barazjan in the province of Bushehr.
The rain was relentless across Havana and much of the northern coast of Cuba for more than 24 hours. Many buildings have collapsed under the sheer weight of the torrential rain. 2 people were killed in a building that caved in the central district.
Heavy rain slammed into Cuba Saturday, drenching the country in water.
It's just water and water and water every day. The water hasn't stopped.
The rain comes from a slow-moving front moving across the island.
Lawrence Parkin from Jacksdale in Nottinghamshire was woken with a start recently in the middle of the night by something hitting the roof. Just one roof tile seemed to be broken. He found chunks of dark-coloured rocks scattered around the front of his house. He collected them up and contacted a local university.
You've been hit by sounds like you've been hit by a iron-rich meteorite.
I cannot see my screen, so there is a huge pentagram in the shadows up there, and I mean this thing is large the way it's doing, and it's not chemtrails. This is flippin' freaky.